Do 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 do. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. No, 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 no. I'm done being a pirate. It's a pastor's life now. I used to be a pirate lad, but now I've changed my ways. I gave my life into God's hands and follow God always. Yo ho, a pastor's life for me. I go to church and say my prayers, that's where I can be found. I help folks to share the news of God's love without bounds. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me, a pastor's life for me.
Ahoy there! We see Captain Blue Jay Sparrow.
Oh no, pirates, and they're masked.
Of course we're wearing masks. We're pirates, not stupid.
I said we see Captain Blue Jay Sparrow.
Well, there's no one here by that name. What do you want with him?
We seek the treasure of El Corazon, and we hear he knows how to find it.
Well, maybe you better try someplace else. What makes you think he's here?
We heard he got religion.
And we also heard that the treasure of El Corazon could be found here.
I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Well, maybe this will help you think. Now, talk. Where is Blue Jay Sparrow? And where is the treasure?
Now, just a minute. Well, don't you keep a sword in your pulpit? I mean, the pen is mightier, but just in case.
Hey, do you know why a pirate carries his sword?
No, why?
Because swords can't walk.
There. Now go.
Hey, wait a minute. Only one person can beat Blackie with a sword. And that's Captain Blue Jay Sparrow.
That's Pastor Blue Jay Sparrow. I've given up pirating ways.
Yeah, we know. We heard the song when we came in.
Where'd you go to school? Harvard?
All right, so you found me. Now what do you want?
We want the treasure of El Corazon, and we want it now. We checked around and we're told we could find it at the church. And we want you to lead us to it.
I told you, I'm not a pirate anymore.
You can't just give up being a pirate. It's in your blood. You just are one. How do pirates know that they are pirates? They think, therefore they are.
Suppose I told you that before we came in, we positioned cannons around this church, and if you don't help us, we'll blow it to bits.
You don't mean that. You'd blow up the church?
Well, no. I said, suppose we'd put cannons all around. Besides, cannons cost too much, and they're so heavy to try and move around.
How can you be so mean to threaten the church like that?
I don't know. We just are.
Enough of this nonsense. We want the treasure and you're going to give it to us now.
All right, if you're that desperate, I'll help you find the treasure of El Corazon. What have you got so far?
We have the beginning of a map that led us here. Hey, Deadeye, you got that map?
Yeah. Why do pirates always carry a bar of soap? So if they are shipwrecked, they can wash themselves ashore.
Not that paper, the map.
Here it is. To a pirate, this clue may be absurd. Go to the place where God's word is heard.
And that's what led us here, to the place where God's word is heard.
But there has to be more to it than that. Let me think. The place where God's word is heard. Where could that be? Oh, hey! Wait a minute, that's it. The place where God's word is heard isn't only the church, it's also the Bible.
The Bible? How can the Bible help us find the treasure?
Do you know what a pirate's favorite Bible story is? The one about Noah and the Ark.
Sure, the Bible tells us lots of things. And it can help us to find the treasure of El Corazon. For instance, here in the Bible, we learn about how we can live our lives and how we can give back to God in thanksgiving for all the things we've been given.
Ha ha ha! Give back! We're pirates! We take! Why should we give back?
Why is pirating so addictive? They say once you lose your first hand, you get hooked.
You're lucky you weren't completely disarmed.
Well, Blackie, all of us have been given so much by God.
Avast there! Nobody's given me nothing. I've earned everything I have. Or at least earned it the pirate way.
There you're wrong, Blackie. Everything we have is God's. It's been given to us by God to use in God's service. So then we return a portion of what we've been given in thanksgiving for all that God has given us. The important question for us to ask is not how much of what is mine am I going to give to God, but rather how much of what is God's am I going to keep for myself?
I see. Everything I have comes from God. I think it's time that I changed my pirating ways and give back to God as well. I'll even give my share of the treasure back to God. But how do I do it?
Let's keep searching for the treasure and maybe we can find out along the way. Are there any more clues? Let's look and see.
Being the Son of God, Jesus obviously couldn't grow up to be a pirate. So what did he decide to be?
What?
A carpenter.
Will you stop with all this silliness and help us look?
Look! Another clue! To figure your portion, take this hint. Go to the place where no one sits. Where no one sits? What does that mean?
Oh, that's easy. In church, no one sits in the front pew.
Well, hurry up and look for a clue so I can find out about giving.
What did the ocean say to the pirate?
What?
Nothing. It just waved. Do you know what happened when Blackbeard fell overboard in the Red Sea?
No, what?
He was marooned.
Go away. Hey, look, a clue. If to give back to God is your intent, you'll find the tithe is 10%.
10%? I can't give 10%. Here I was all happy about giving something back to God, but I can't do that. I might as well not even try.
Hold on, Blackie. It is true that the Bible says that the tithe is 10%, and the church has set that as the minimum standard of giving. But don't give up. Not everyone can jump in and give 10% to the church, but we can work towards it. We can strive to tithe by simply increasing our pledge 10% each year until we reach the tithe and beyond.
So if I give 100 pieces of 8 this year, I could raise it 10%, or another 10 pieces of 8 until I keep going and reach the tithe.
Sure. The important thing is about the tithe is that you prayerfully and carefully think about what you're going to give back to God through the church. Are there any more clues?
Here's one. Although you may think it odd, go to the place where you received God. There's a place where you receive God?
Of course. In the Eucharist, God takes the gifts of bread and wine that we offer and blesses them and then gives them back to us as the body and blood of Christ. So when we go to the altar for communion, we are receiving God and are strengthened to be God's servants in the world. The same is true of our giving. God takes what we give, blesses it, and then gives it back to us to do things more powerful than we can ask or imagine. Let's go to the altar rail and look for more clues.
I really like your earrings. How much did you pay for those? A buccaneer?
Will you stop?
I understand about giving back to God and thanksgiving for all God gives to us, but I give to other causes too. I give to the Home for Peg-Legged Pirates, the Hook and Crook Orthopedic Center, the SPCA.
The SPCA?
The Soggy Pirate Conservation Association. Anyway, I give to all these things and many other worthwhile causes. Can I count that as part of my tithe or not?
Actually, the important thing is that you think about what you are giving and how that giving helps others. If you feel that these programs help further the work of God, then it's okay to count it as part of the tithe.
I have other bills too. I have ship payments to make, and crew to feed, and damages to pay after barroom brawls. Not to mention my internet joke subscription.
Well, you can give that one up.
I have all these expenses. How can I be expected to tie myself down to a pledge to the church?
Oh, Deadeye, you simply need to do what we call give off the top. When we give to God the first fruits of what we have, God blesses what's left, and there always seems to be enough to cover what's needed.
How do pirates prefer to communicate? Eye to eye.
But I'm not so sure I want to just give of my treasure. I don't trust the Board of Captains to make the right decision on where my money goes. When I give my money, I want to get something in return. I want to have a say in where my money goes. I'll just keep it and then give it to the special projects I want it to go to.
Salty, you also have to trust that your leaders are good stewards too, and that they are going to take care of the treasure entrusted to them and spend it wisely. If everyone would do this, then there would be plenty to go around and all the ministries could be funded with more left over.
Salty, how do you make a pirate furious? Take away the P.
Huh?
Get it? Pirate, take away the P?
Oh, I get it. Take away the P and you get irate.
Hey, look! Another clue! You'll find the treasure under the sod where bread and wine are offered to God. Well, that has to be the altar. Let's go!
What's a pirate's favorite wine? Chardonnay.
Oh, brother, you never quit, do you?
What lies at the bottom of the ocean and twitches? A nervous wreck.
This must be the spot. Dig me, hearties.
Why do pirates always bury their treasure 18 inches below the ground?
Why?
Because booty is only shin deep.
You are bizarre.
To err is human. To R is pirate.
Hurry, dig faster. I can't stand it. This waiting is killing me. My heart is racing.
Salty, it's okay. If anything happens, I can give you CP.
Will you two just knock it off? We're almost to the treasure. Hey, look at this. I think I found it.
Wait. Before we open it, I think we should say the pirate's prayer.
The pirate's prayer?
Yes, the pirate prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven.
Will you stop?
Well, let me open it up. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's it? That's the treasure of El Corazon?
Of course it is. You've saved the sail of the Spanish Main enough to know that Corazon means heart. When we return a portion to God in thanksgiving for all that God gives to us, we become stewards of God's grace. And we become joyful givers as we follow God's ways in our hearts and in our lives. When we give our treasure to God, our hearts follow in joyful service. That's the true essence of stewardship. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that, my friends, is the treasure of El Corazon.
So the treasure isn't in the church at all. It is the church.
Right. The treasure of El Corazon isn't about getting, it's about giving.
So, by being good stewards
and returning a portion to God in thanksgiving for all God has given us,
and answering God's call to do ministry,
then you're on the path to good stewardship and on the way to reaching the treasure of El Corazon. It's an ongoing journey, one that leads through countless adventures and opportunities to do ministry. For as you give of your treasure and follow your heart in the service of God, you will experience again and again the treasure of El Corazon. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
Yo ho, a tithe is life for me. We give to church and charity, thanksgiving for all we got. We give with thanks for all God gives, and that's a lot. Yo ho, a tithe is life for me. We always fill our pledge cards out at least at 10%. We give our time and treasure and talent. Yo ho, a tithe is life for me. Yo ho,